Hello everyone, welcome back to the JavaScript Bootcamp by Intern Call. Until now, yesterday we have discussed about the module 1, Introduction to Programming and Coding. What is the basic concept of programming? Everything we have discussed in yesterday's session. Today, shall we get started with the fundamentals of JavaScript? Or let's do one thing, let's just revise a bit about the module 1 which we have discussed yesterday. In module 1, we have discussed, okay, what is it? First of all, we have discussed understanding programming concepts. What is the programming? How to make machines work for you, we have discussed in this module 1. And after this, what we have discussed is what is a program and what are programming languages, what are different types of programming languages, and why these programming languages are actually used in low level, high level, what is procedural programming, what is object oriented programming. All of these concepts which we have discussed yesterday in the module 1, right? These are different 5 types of programming languages: procedural programming language, functional programming, object-oriented programming, scripting, and logic. The JavaScript falls in the category of scripting programming language and object-oriented programming language. It also supports functions, but the most importantly, it also supports OOPS concepts, object-oriented programming concept. I hope that is very clear for you. Since yesterday's session, I have asked you to make a note of it. I hope you all are maintaining a separate notebook for this bootcamp so that it will be quick for you to revise everything one by one. Even when you are revising the same concept after 1 month or 2, or when you are doing projects, these fundamental concepts will definitely help you to do those projects. Clear? Next, algorithms. We have discussed what these algorithms are actually. Algorithms are set of what is step-by-step instructions, right? Step-by-step instructions of doing something. We took an example of making a tea, how to take that bowl, add milk, add sugar, add tea powder, let it boil, and then serve. In the same way, we have taken a simple example of multiplying two numbers, adding three numbers. All of these we have taken the example of algorithms, and that algorithm is converted into code. Code is nothing but a program. Okay, this is an algorithm definition which we have discussed yesterday. We have taken an example of converter of temperature to Fahrenheit by applying the formula Celsius is equals to 5 by 9 into Fahrenheit minus 32. Fahrenheit F is taken as input from user, and then we are going to print the Celsius value. This formula which we'll be using in the project 3 of temperature converter as well. Please make a note of it if possible. And next, what is the syntax and what is structure we have discussed. Syntax is nothing but a set of rules that detect a program. In different programming languages, there are different syntaxes which we have to follow that is very specific for that programming language. For example, if I write printf hello world in Python, it will not work because it will work with only print. In the same way, if I write print hello world in JavaScript, it will not work. In JavaScript, to print anything, it is console.log. Clear? That's what syntax is actually about. We are just revising everything of yesterday. Do not worry, we are not in a hurry. We'll understand everything from basics in the module 2, coming to the concept of JavaScript. Okay, structure. We have understood what is syntax actually. Now the structure of a program is the arrangement of its components, including statements, functions. What are the statements? It can be if else conditions, if else conditions, or switch case conditions, or looping statements, or for loop, while loop, etc. For each loop, using of concept of functions in a structure of writing the code is nothing but a structure of a program. Until here, we have not discussed much coding concept. We have just discussed the theoretical concept of programming and coding, and what concepts which we are going to use in any programming language, irrespective of JavaScript or any other programming languages. This is what algorithm is, this is what program is, this is what syntax and structure is. Why we have included this module 1 in this JavaScript bootcamp is because many of you are from non-technical background. Many of you do not have coding experience, prior coding experience. For them to start everything from scratch, we have included this module 1 to make you understand what programming is actually about and what is the approach to solve any problem or build projects. Clear? Next, development environment. We have installed VS Code, and yesterday we have discussed on any web page by right clicking, going to inspect, and going to console, how we can code in JavaScript in that console panel. That is environment setup. One thing I wanted to mention specifically is that JavaScript does not require any external software to be installed again. Again, I want to tell that HTML, CSS, JavaScript are directly installed in your browser. So you can directly run this code and see the output in your browser without installing any external software. Like for Java, you install Java SDK. For Python, you install Python software. In the same way, for HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, there is no need of installing external software for you to run the code. I hope it is clear. Let's dive into JavaScript today. Yesterday, we have discussed the fundamental concepts of programming. Today, we are coming into JavaScript. We are starting with the beginner level of JavaScript. First of all, we will understand what JavaScript is actually about, how it originated, what is the difference between compiler language and interpreted language, where does this JavaScript fall into? Will that fall into compiler language or interpreter language? That we'll discuss today. And the very basic fundamental concepts of programming language of JavaScript, variables, data types like strings, numbers, boolean, truthy, falsy, etc. And the ways of declaring variables. There are three ways of declaring variables using let, const, and var. And what are these three? What is the difference between these three? All of this we'll discuss in today's session. Also, one of the important concept of operators. Operator is nothing but performing some operation on two operands, a plus b, a minus b, a into b, a and b, a or b. All of these are, we are performing on two operands. We are performing some arithmetic operation, some comparison operator, some assignment operator. All of these comes under operators in JavaScript. Even that we'll discuss in today's session with the help of practical example by coding in the console, that is on Chrome browser. We'll see that as well. So coming to JavaScript, what is JavaScript actually? JavaScript is the world's most popular programming language we use to give instruction to the computer. There are different types of programming languages, as you know, like Python, Java, JavaScript, Ruby, C++, C, C Sharp, C Sharp, and many more. So, how does this JavaScript stand out from others? JavaScript is a programming language of web. What if I tell you 90 to 95% of the websites which are hosted online either use JavaScript directly or indirectly? What do I mean by this? JavaScript is directly used using HTML, CSS, JavaScript in the front end, or Node.js, Express.js, React.js, AngularJS, Vue.js. These type of JavaScript based frameworks are also used in the backend, or also used in MERN stack, mean stack. Mean is MEAN. MongoDB, Express.js, AngularJS, and Node.js. MERN is MongoDB, Express.js, React.js, Node.js. All of these are different frameworks and libraries of JavaScript. So one unified language can be used to build full stack application. That is why JavaScript has become very popular in the last decade, I can say. Okay, JavaScript is easy to learn. Similar to Python, JavaScript also has easy syntax. Easy syntax. You do not have to worry about declaring variables in different forms or handling things or garbage collector and all of these advanced concepts. JavaScript handles itself on its own. So JavaScript is easy to learn as compared to different programming languages, is what this statement tells. So input code, whatever we write input code is given to computer analyzes that input code and directly gives output, because the computer does not understand English, Hindi, or Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, or whichever language which I speak or which we speak altogether. But this computer understands programming languages. Programming languages are categorized into two types: compiler level language, interpreter language. JavaScript is interpreter language, which means it does not convert into machine code in middle for the computer to understand, because in interpreter language it is line by line execution. Okay, do not worry, let's not get into hurry. Let's go one by one. Understood what is JavaScript at first place? JavaScript is the most popular programming language which is used in web, because it has different applications of MERN, mean, and different frameworks and libraries for the website creation, which can be used in front end as well as back end. Clear until now? If yes, we can jump on to the next slide, or else pause the video, go back and see it again. Clear? Yeah, let's move on to the next slide. Yes everyone, let's jump on to the next slide as of now. Clear? Yeah. What is compiler versus interpreter? For the people who come from BTech background or CSE background, they already know this. Please hold back with us. For the people for whom this concept is very new, a compiler is something which understands your code which is written in any programming language and then converts into machine level code. It can be binary code or one zeros or any encoded encrypted code which the computer can understand, and based on that machine or binary code of ones and zeros, the output is printed by the computer. This is how compiler works. All the compiler based languages like Java are platform independent. What do you mean by platform independent? You write the code once and you can run the same code, that machine code, on different operating systems like Mac, Windows, Linux, etc. Because this machine code is platform independent. You can use anywhere, so portability increases. I was asked this question in an interview: what is the difference between compiler and interpreter? And as a developer, how does this compiler or interpreter languages helps you to make software applications better? So the smart way of answering this is, sir, it depends on the software which we are trying to build. For example, I want to make a software which is portable enough to work on different platforms, then I have to use this compiler based languages like Java. Otherwise, if I want to build machine learning models or web development models or some other things, then I have to look into some other options. If I want to build machine learning models, I would have to prefer Python because of this diverse range of libraries and interpreter work, because it does not convert into machine code and automatically it is executed line by line. So what I mean to say is, the compiler has its own advantages, the interpreter has its own advantages. In compiler, in compiler, the source code is given to the compiler and the compiler converts that code into machine code. Machine code is nothing but binary, ones and zeros, and the computer can understand that ones and zeros, and based on that code the computer generates you the output. Whatever task you want to perform or whatever operation you want to do, all of this is done using that machine code. This is how compiler languages work. Then what is this interpreter? Here there is no conversion of normal code to machine code. The code is directly executed but line by line. In compiler the code is executed as a whole, but in interpreter the code is executed line by line. Clear? I hope you have got some basic understanding about what is a compiler and what is an interpreter and how does this compiler work and how does this interpreter work. Or else let's take an example in a notepad and understand this. If you're okay with this, let's open notepad. Yesterday we have discussed this. It's okay, let's clear it all as of now. Okay, see, compiler languages, what happens is, for example, you are writing some code. Let's increase the size. I hope you are able to see. Yeah, in compiler you are writing some source code. Okay, you are writing some source code. Let's say same addition of two numbers, a equal to 5, b equal to 10, a plus b answer equal to a plus b, print answer. This is Python. Python is not compiler based language, it is interpreter. What is the okay, interpreter based language. What it does is it follows step by step execution. It follows step by step execution. I'll come to the point, do not worry. Let's discuss about compiler based language as well. Compiler based language, it converts code into source code into machine code. Source code is given to compiler. Compiler converts this code into machine code and then output. This is how things work in compiler. Whereas in interpreter it is source code directly goes to interpreter. This interpreter is capable enough to understand your source code directly and it gives you output. So this is the entire flow of different things. In interpreter, automatically everything is evaluated line by line. First of all, it declares a equal to 5. Okay, I have got a is 5, fine. I have got b is 10. Okay, the computer understood. Now I'm telling you to add two numbers. In this case, again, now it is searching that Okay, A is present and B is present. Let's add those values and keep it as answer. Okay, and then print the answer. In this way, line by line execution is possible in interpreter language. Clear? In this way, line by line execution is possible in interpreter language. But in compiler language, what happens is the source code is first given to compiler. The compiler converts the code into machine code. Let's suppose this is a Java code. Actually it is a Python code. Let's assume that it is a Java code. For Java, you'll declare int and int and int, because for this you have to declare variable data type. In Java, you cannot directly dynamically allocate memory, so you have to give the data type first, and then instead of print, it is system.out.println, system.out.println answer, and also it has semicolons at the end in Java. So these are the syntaxes of Java. What do I mean? This syntax is nothing but some structure has to be followed for you to run that program in Java. So what this does in compiler languages, first of all, we are writing whole code as once and we are giving this into input for computer. What does this computer do? This source code goes to compiler. In compiler, this code is converted into machine code. What do you mean by machine code? For now, just understand this machine code as combination of ones and zeros. For example, 101 101 and B is like 1110. I'm just randomly adding values, and then 110101, something like this. The machine converts, I mean the compiler converts this code in the form of machine code. This machine code is understandable by the computers easily. It's not directly what we have written here, but I want to tell you with an example that the code is converted into binary or machine code, which the computer can easily understand and quickly understand. Quickly understand. So compiler language is fast as compared to interpreter language. Very important. Compiler language is fast, very fast in the process of execution as compared to interpreter language. That is why Java is preferred over Python while solving DSA problems, because the time complexity is, if the logic is same in both the programming languages, but still the time taken to execute the code in Java is less as compared to the code executed in Python. Clear? Both have their own advantages, but the compiler based language is fast as compared to interpreter based language. That's what I want to make it clear. Let's quickly recap what is interpreter and compiler. In interpreter, it is line by line execution. The source code goes to interpreter. Interpreter will directly understand the code which you have written and gives the output. Whereas in compiler, the source code is gone to the compiler. This compiler acts as a mediator and converts this source code into machine code, which is understandable by machine. For example, this is the machine code. Machine code can be used on different platforms. If I give this binary code into Mac operating system, even there the code will run quickly. If I give the same code for Linux, even there the code will run quickly. What do I mean by this is, I have only written this code only once and I can run on different platforms, different operating systems. Okay, it is called as write once run anywhere. WORA is nothing but write once run anywhere. Java is a WORA language. Write once run anywhere. Write once the code, convert into machine code, and that machine code can be run on different platforms. And then based on this machine code, the computer performs operations and it prints the output. I hope it is very clear what is interpreter and compiler, or else rewatch the video. I mean, please go back and understand it again. It is very basic fundamental concepts. We have taken the real example of with the help of code and understood. If not, let's move on to the next slide. Great. All right, let's jump on to the next slide. So coming to the concept of variables, fundamental concept again. Variables are containers for storing data. For example, you have this water bottle. This water bottle is storing some water. In the same way, in programming, you need something to store your values, right? You need something to store your values. How can you store these values? Is that using variables. Variables nothing but, as we have discussed, a equal to 5, b equal to 10. All of these are variables. A is variable, b is variable, a and s, answer is also a variable. It is storing some kind of data, that is 5, 10, a plus b, integers, numbers, strings, anything. A container which stores the data is nothing but variable. Okay, in JavaScript there are 4 ways of defining a variable. Which one? Four ways. First one, automatically. You do not have to tell any var, let or const before the a or before the variable name. Automatically, in the sense it will automatically take the input. This is the concept of hoisting that we'll also discuss in the coming sessions. Do not worry. If you want to learn on your own, definitely you can search for hoisting in JavaScript. HOISTING, hoisting in JavaScript, and learn with a simplified example online. That's totally fine. We'll also discuss in the coming sessions. As of now, focus. There are 4 ways of declaring variables in JavaScript. 1, automatically. 2, using var. 3, using let. 4, using const. There are 3 different things of var, let and const. How these 3 differ? What is declaration scope of them all? Can they be redeclared? Can their values be changed? All of these differs in all of these 3 cases. For this you have to hold back. We'll first understand this basic variable concept, and then we'll understand what is the difference between all of these 4 concepts. Clear? Coming to variable rules. While naming your variables, please focus that variable names are case sensitive. What does this mean? Small a equal to 5 and capital A equal to 5 are 2 different things. Those 2 are not same. What I mean to say is, let's remove this code again. I hope you have all made the notes of it. Let's remove this. See, a equal to 5 and capital A equal to 5. Both of these are 2 different things. That's what it is called as case sensitive. Clear? Next, only letters, digits, underscore and dollar is allowed, not even space. Only a letter, underscore or dollar should be first character. Number should never be the first character. There are certain rules to follow the naming of a variable. You cannot randomly name 10 equal to 10. Then it's not a variable. What I mean to say is, see here, this is a variable name, right? It is a container which is storing the value 5. But for naming this, use simple alphabets or any words like answer or res, result or result, flag, temp, x, y, z, anything. Name anything. But always the first letter must be an alphabet or dollar symbol or underscore symbol. All these are valid, but the number should not be the first character. It is an error. Whenever you try to do like this, it will give declaration error. That we'll see in practical. After this slide we'll have a practical. In this practical we'll understand what are valid variable names and what are invalid variable names. Always I would suggest you use simple alphabets like x, y, z, a, b, c, or use answer, result like this. Do not use underscore as well. Answer or result, because it, as a developer, it makes you easy to debug the things, also to avoid blunder or simple errors. That's what I want to say. Let's say this in practical. What is the difference between having a dollar at front and or having an underscore at front and having a number at front? If we have a number at front, we'll definitely get error. Let's see the output of this. Okay, as you can see in here, we have just created a basic index.html file and we have run the code. Now I want to run JavaScript on my Chrome browser. As we all know that JavaScript can be run on any browser by clicking right click, inspect, and then go to console. Okay, understood? Previously I have practiced on this, so it is showing that output. It's okay. See, I'll write a equal to 5 and I'll say console dot log a. It is printing 5. Well and fine, very good, understood. Now a equal to 5 is defined automatically without using var, let or const. It is automatically defining of variables. Clear? Now if I say a equal to 10, okay, a equal to 10, the value of capital A is 10 now and small a is 5, right? Let's print console.log capital A, small a, and then in next line we'll print console.log capital A. Okay, let's print this. Let's see how things goes. Enter. See, the first line is small a, the value is 5 and capital A value is 10. What I mean to explain with this is these two are different things. Even it is a, but small a is different from capital A. That is case sensitive. JavaScript variable names are case sensitive. Clear? Clear everyone? Okay, let's go to the next point. Next one. Let's do one thing. I'll scroll up the code, or I'll remove these. Just a second. Okay, great. I hope you have understood what is the difference between small a and capital A, that is case sensitivity. Now let's understand what are valid variable names and what are invalid variable names. Let's say x equal to 5. It is valid. But let's say 1x equal to 5. It is telling syntax error because we have added a number before variable name. If you see the slides which we have discussed, just a second. Yeah, here you can see only a letter, underscore or dollar should be first character, which means we have created as 1x, but 1, the first character is a number, so it is giving a syntax error. Clear? Let's see how we can solve this. If I say underscore x equal to 5, it is okay because underscore can be the first character. I can say $x equal to 5. It is still valid, but 1x is not valid because the number cannot be the first character. I hope it is clear. I hope it is clear, right, everyone? Yeah, great. Next, one more thing which we have to focus here is this one. The last line, reserved words cannot be variable names. What are these reserved words? Every programming language has certain reserved words, which means that word contains some meaning in that programming language. Example, if else, for loop, function, func, function name, class, all of these are, or break or continue or jumping statements, all of these different types of syntaxes which are used in any programming language to make your computers work are called as reserved words. You cannot use reserved words as a variable name. Let's test an example of the same. Let's jump back to the Chrome browser and let's say for equal to 5. Again, syntax error, unexpected token equal to, because for is a reserved word. Reserved word cannot be used as syntax, I mean variable name. If equal to 5, again syntax error because if is a reserved word. In the same way, variables, while declaring variables, you have to follow certain rules. What are those rules? These are those rules. Take a screenshot of it or make a note of it because it is very basic fundamental concept. We will be using different types of variables and different types of declarations of variables. Okay, if it is very clear, let's jump on to the next slide. Then let's jump on to the next slide now. Variables in JavaScript. Until now we have discussed the naming syntaxes in in usual programming languages. In JavaScript, in the first example, x, y, z are undeclared variables because we are not giving any kind of data type or let const var. We are not giving this any kind of variable names as well for this, but it is automatically taking, the JavaScript input is automatically taking this. So this is called as automatic declaration of variables in JavaScript. The first condition, as we have discussed, there are 4 things, right? There are 4 things, namely 1, automatically, 2, using let, 2, 3, var, 4 is const. For automatically, without writing anything, automatically this x equal to 5, y equal to 6 and z equal to x plus y is getting executed. Let's say this operation. Let's clear this. Okay, x equal to 5, y equal to 6, z equal to 5 plus, okay, z equal to x plus y. The answer is 11, right? 5 plus 6 is 11. I hope it is clear. We are not writing any, like, we are not writing as const x equal to 5 and then const y equal to 6 and then let z equal to x plus y. We are not writing in this way. The output is undefined. We'll discuss why this undefined and that there is a difference between all of this. We'll understand that. First of all, as of now, just focus on this. We are not giving any certain type, but still we are getting the output. That is called automatic declaration of variables. I hope it is clear. Yeah, this slide explains about the automatically declared variables when used first. Next, three ways of declaring variables in JavaScript. Three ways of declaring variables in JavaScript is: 1. Using var. Variable can be redeclared and updated. It has a global scope. Global scope in the sense you can access this value anywhere in the code. Before ES6, version 6 of JavaScript, there are, okay, ES is some standard which standardizes JavaScript and its syntaxes. And as of now, it is in ES6, the latest version. Okay, there this let and const were added. Previously, there was only var, only one type of data type, only one type of variable declaration, that is var. Variable can be redeclared and updated. A global scope variable. What do I mean by this is, let's remove this again. See, I have written var a equal to 10. Var a equal to 10. Let's print a. For printing a, console.log a. The value is 10. What do you mean by redeclare? Now if I tell a equal to 15 and then if I tell console.log of a, let's see what the output is. It is 15. See, the value which was 10 previously is now redeclared here and the value is 15 now. So you can access this value of a anywhere in your program, and redeclare and update the values. Var allows you to redeclare and access the values. Clear? Note this down. Var allows you to redeclare and update the values. Next, let. Variable cannot be redeclared but can be updated. Variable cannot be redeclared but can be updated. Okay, what is the difference between redeclare and updated? Redeclaring in the sense using again let a, let b, like this. Okay, a block scope variable. What do I mean by block scope variable? If I write in the curly braces, only in that curly braces that value will be accessible. Let's see the example. Do not worry, let's see the example. For example, let a equal to 5. Done. Next, console.log of a. Done. The value is 5. I cannot redeclare the value. I cannot say var a equal to 10 now. If I say var a equal to 10, it will give me an error. Identifier a has already been declared. Identifier a has already been declared. Let does not allow you to redeclare the variable. Let does not allow you to redeclare the variable, but it allows you to update the value. Update the value in the sense I can say a equal to 15. I can say a equal to 15. And then if I say okay, let's run the code first once. A equal to 15. Value a is 15 now. Let's print and see console.log of a. Console.log of a. Let's run the code. As you can see, a is 15. What do I mean by this? Okay, let's clear everything. Let's clear everything. Come back to scratch. Let a equal to 10 is already declared. Let a equal to 10 is already declared. We are not printing anything, so it is sending as undefined, but value a has the value, variable a has the value 10. Let does not allow you to redeclare, but it allows you to update. So let's do one thing. Let's make a equal to First print as console.log a, print console.log a, and in the next line we'll make a equal to 15. Done. So first of all, the value a, which was 10, is printed, and then it is updated to 15. So let allows you to update the value, but it does not allow you to redeclare the value. Redeclaring the value in the sense, let's see here, if I say var of a equal to 20, I am trying to redeclare the same variable name. For a, I am trying to redeclare the same variable name. In those cases, it will not allow me. It will give me syntax error. See, ungot identifier a has already been declared. In this way, let does not allow you to redeclare the value, but it allows you to update the value, whereas var allows you to redeclare the value as well as update the value. What do I mean by this? Var allows you to redeclare the value as well as update the value. First of all, let's declare a and just print, simple as that. Okay, it was previously, okay, let's take some other variable name, because we have already declared a as let, right? So we cannot declare the same thing again. Let's say var b equal to 10, and in next line console dot log b, enter. Okay, the value of b is 10 now. I can redeclare the variable var b equal to 20. See, it has allowed me this time. Var has allowed me this time. It has not given me any syntax. If I print b now, if I print b now, let's see what is the output. It is 20. So var allows you to redeclare as well as re-update, whereas let allows you to update but does not allow you to redeclare. I hope my point is clear. Understood the difference between let and var? Understood the difference between let and var? I hope it is very clear. After this, let's discuss about const. Let's discuss about const. Great. I hope you are clear with this let var. Okay, now let's jump on to const. What this const actually is. Variable cannot be redeclared nor updated. Once if you write const a equal to 10, you cannot redeclare the variable or you cannot update the variable as well. And also it has only block scope. If you write in the embedded curly braces, it can only be accessed in that curly braces only. Do not worry. Let's see the practicals, a simple practical of the same. Let's jump onto the same our console. Let's remove everything. Let's say one thing, const c equal to 10, console dot log c. Okay, run. What I have done here is I have declared c as a constant. It stores the value 10. Now let's try to redeclare or using var or anything. Let's try to use the same c variable name var c equal to 12. What happens if we run the code now? Error, because const does not allow you to redeclare the variables. Const does not allow you to redeclare the variables. It is saying identifier c has already been declared. It is already been declared. Why are you trying to use again? It is telling that c is already been declared. Why are you trying to use again? Okay, now what I'll do is I'll not redeclare the value. I just want, instead of this 10, I want to make 15. Okay, as simple as that. I'll just say c equal to 15. Will this work? No. Assignment to constant variable. You have assigned this as a constant value. Constant value can never be updated. It cannot be updated. So it is giving an error again. I hope you are clear what is var, what is let, and what is const. Var allows you to redeclare as well as re-update, whereas let allows you to update, but it does not allow you to redeclare. Okay, const doesn't allow you to do neither of them too. It does not allow you to redeclare, it does not allow you to update. I hope it is clear. Let's jump to next slide. We'll understand when to use which kind of declaration. So we have four types, right? Automatic, var, let and const. When we had this var, what was the need to get this let and const in ES6? That as well we'll discuss in the coming slides. Yeah, what are those variables in JavaScript? The var keyword was previously used in all JavaScript code from 1995 to 2015. The var keyword should only be used in code written for older browsers. Because var can be redeclared and re-updated. If you declare X and update anywhere in the code, you can easily access and update those. Then some security issues may come, but it's okay to use var. Do not completely ignore it. You can use var as well, but let and const have some better security features and better features as compared to declaration and updation is what this slide wants to tell. Okay, we have understood this example already. Let's not waste the time here again. Next, the let and const keywords were added to JavaScript in 2015 in the newer version, that is ES6. In 2015 these two came into picture. In 2015, sorry, let and const. As we have said, let allows you to update the value but does not allow you to redeclare the value, whereas const does not allow you to redeclare as well as update. Once you declare something as a const, that is constant, it cannot be updated again. As simple as that. Clear with this? See, then there are three ways of doing things. There are three ways of doing things: var, let, const. As a beginner, how can I select which one to use when? This slide. Take a book, take a pen, write down this. Always declare variables. Always use const if the value should not be changed. In the code, if you want certain value should be constant, no one should be able to access that value to update. Only in those cases use const. Always use const if the type should not be changed. If you are declaring as an array, or if you are declaring as an object, or if you are declaring as an integer or a string, if you do not want anyone to change it from array to object, if to parse it from integer to float, if you declare something, it must be constant. Like Hindi, you say patthar ki lakir. If you say something, it is patthar ki lakir. It cannot be changed. Once you declare, it cannot be changed. Only in those cases use const. Okay, only use let if you cannot use const. Only use let if you cannot use const. For example, I want values to be updated again. I have declared x equal to, let x equal to 5. I cannot redeclare x using variable or let again, but I can change the value of x from 5 to 10 or any other value. So use let if you want to change the values. Clear? That is the line which tells use let if you cannot use const. Okay, var. Use var if you must support old browser. If your system works on Windows 9 or Windows 10 or previous versions, or it does not have latest Chrome browser or something, in those cases you can use var. As simple as that. It can be redeclared and it can be re-updated at any time is what, and also has global scope. I hope it is very clear for you as of now. Coming to data types in JavaScript, there are many data types in JavaScript. I'll just walk you through the slides as of now. Tomorrow we'll discuss this in detail, the data types in JavaScript, and next one is operators in JavaScript. Because it's already around 1 hour, we have almost completed 50 or 1 hour plus 50 plus minutes of the session of today. If you make it lengthy, I guess it will be hard for you guys to sit down and learn everything at once. So we are trying to go slow, as these are fundamental concepts. We are taking time to understand these concepts, but once when we understand have good command on if else conditions and for loops and functions, then the things will run very quickly. Do not worry about this. In this 10 days of bootcamp, we'll cover the entire syllabus which we have promised with 3 projects as well, and we'll try to provide you with the source code as well if possible. If not source code, will help you to do these projects. Clear? So data types in JavaScript. What is data type? The type of data that variable is storing. It can be a number, it can be a float number, it can be a true or false value, it can be a set of character, it can be a string, it can be an array, object, or anything. So JavaScript variables can hold numbers like 100 and also text values like intern call, that is the name of the company. It is a string. In programming language, text values are called text strings. Okay. JavaScript can handle many types of data, but for now, just we'll think of numbers and strings because it can have different types of data types. But while building projects, most probably you will use numbers and strings and boolean values more in most of the cases, and we ignore other things usually. Strings are written inside double quotations or single quotations. Numbers are written without quotes. What do I mean by this is the strings are written inside double quotations and the numbers are directly written without quotations. If you want to put number in quotes, it will be converted into string. If I put 100 inside single quotations, then it will become a string automatically. We'll discuss this tomorrow in the practical session. I'm just walking you through the slides today. Okay, it is taking much time. Let's just walk you through the slides. Okay, next slide is what is it, what happened. Okay, these are different types of data types which we are going to discuss. There are two types of things, inbuilt data types and the data types which can store the values, object, array and date. Okay, we'll discuss this in detail tomorrow. After this we'll go into operators. Operators is a bit complicated process if you do not understand the basics. These are different types of data types with example of syntax again. Operators, there are how many? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 types of operators in JavaScript. We'll discuss this in detail tomorrow with the help of examples, and we'll start with module 3 as well tomorrow. I hope you are all enjoying the sessions. Are these sessions boring? If these sessions are boring, you can definitely write on to us. We'll try to integrate more examples. Also, if you feel these sessions are going a bit quick, you can give a response for this as well. If you are thinking that these sessions are going slow, you can also text us on that, because we are trying to go step by step. As it is very new for the beginners, we are trying to go step by step. Okay, that's it for today. All the best everyone. Tomorrow see you at the same time. Have a wonderful day.